Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Rogue Trader with me, Bring It Down. Let's pursue Lord Inquisitor Calcazar. There is no telling what awaits you beyond the gate. But one thing you know for certain, there will be no turning back. It is the point of no return. Ensure that you've taken care of any unfinished business, procured all necessary equipment, explored every world, and completed any desired colonial projects. You will no longer be able to do so after passing through to the other side. I think we're all set. This isn't my first point of no return. Lord Captain, our augurs are detecting energy currents of indeterminate nature within the dimensional gate. It appears to be active. We see a number of ships near the gate, and judging by their markings, they belong to Lord Inquisitor Calcazar's personal squadron. I know this place. Calcazar summoned both our packs here to seal this portal to terror and woe. Much blood we did spill that day. Alas, it was not the blood of Xenos or Warpspawn, but that of the cog-priest of Calcazar himself. While they were working on the gate's foul machines, the breath of evil coming from the other side was turning them into frenzied monsters. Lord Captain, don't take it as cowardice, but duty obliges me to ask. You do realize that this may end up being a one-way voyage, don't you? Switch on Vox communication with all decks. Crew, this is the Lord Captain speaking. I'm taking this ship into the unknown, where danger lies and glory awaits. Are you with me? For a while, you hear no response, and the silence is broken by the sound of heavy footfalls. The rhythmic stomping grows louder and louder. Thousands of feet strike the decks as if marching into oblivion under your banner. Onward. No matter what this journey holds for us, I am ready. Yes, Lord Captain. Whatever is waiting out there, beware. Von Valancius is coming. Contact the ships at the gate. I wish to go through. Incoming message. Sanction for approaching the Xeno artifact granted. Sanction for passage to the other side granted. Safe travels. The Emperor protects. Looks like the Lord Inquisitor has warned them about our visit. So I'm wondering if he doesn't trust you, or if, say, you go the heretical route, if we have to do a battle here instead. An approaching shuttle convoy is requesting permission to dock and asking for an audience. Their marking suggests that they are not part of the squadron left by the Lord Inquisitor. Who is it that wants to come aboard? We've detected the signature of her ladyship Incendia Chorda's personal transport. Welcome our guests and usher them to the bridge. We only saw her shuttle. Did she not come in her own flagship? My character wasn't sitting in the chair. While the chair turned clockwise, my character turned counterclockwise. Friends and allies of your dynasty have arrived from ships currently in the system. They would like to pay their respects to the rogue trader in person. Incendia Chorda folds her arms on her chest, making the sign of the Aquila. Her eyes are aflame with fanatical conviction. You reinforce Incendia Chorda's conviction of the righteousness of her methods and fervent service to the God Emperor. Donald von Valancius, I bear good tidings. The Emperor looks favorably on your campaign. Head into the darkness and be undaunted. The Emperor protects Incendia. Verily, the righteous shall inherit his realm. The rogue trader readily finishes the line from the litany, as though waiting for it. Why have you come? Surely not to bless me for my expedition. There's nothing in Incendia's clear eyes but a righteous conviction that almost seems inhuman. That was a path revealed to me. You go into a place where evil is being wrought against the Emperor. You step into this darkness. You can pluck the poison root from which the vile deed stems. As such, your path must be charted and cleared by those pure of faith. Therefore, accept this gift of righteous annihilation so that, come the hour of judgment, it helps direct you to the right course of action. It looks like you will be in charge of the Expanse after I'm gone. I accept this duty with humility. The seeds of the Final Dawn's corruption will be destroyed, and the Xenos banished from our systems. House Chorda will protect the Coronos Expanse, undeterred by the boundaries of other domains or the powers that be. My gratitude for your support. May the path of those who exact his will be as radiant as a radiant ray, an all-consuming inferno of light. May that ray pierce whatever darkness hinders their progress. I need to set off. Incendia Chorda calls for attention with an imperious gesture. Donald von Valancius. When the hour is dark, only a coward and a heretic will not dare to look death in the face. I'd like to join your crusade beyond the boundaries of the known universe. Will you allow me to do battle under your banner? It will be an honor for me. So be it. I'll lend you my blade and my pistol as loyal companions on this quest. Wasting no time on meaningless good luck wishes, your distinguished guests leave the bridge in solemn and respectful silence. The Voidborn raises his ever-gloomy eyes to you. The enemy is defeated, Lord Captain. We're ready to begin the spatial translation. So I think that confirms that if you're not in the Lord Inquisitor's good graces, you have to fight his fleet. Survey the bridge. Dozens of pairs of eyes hang on your every gesture, your every sigh. Every crew member waits with bated breath lest they miss the crux of your address. Start the translation procedure.
The ancient gate, long impenetrable for the rogue trader, was at last ready to reveal its secrets. After gathering allies and preparing to venture into the unknown, the Lord Captain plunged headlong into the darkness that held ancient nightmares. And the answers to all his questions.
Necrons. I figured that was the case, because in the trailer for the game it shows Necron ruins, or a possible tomb world, so I knew that was going to happen eventually. And so far I've only come across the Necrons on that one dungeon, the Smuggler Hideout, or Smuggler's Den. Translation complete, Lord Captain. Current coordinates unknown and indeterminable. All that's in the ship's immediate vicinity is the dimensional gate that has gone into passive mode, and a large amount of debris. No enemies detected. Lord Alfar may need to be informed that the coordinates his esteemed brothers traveled to match a location somewhere in these star systems. Everything has a reason. The threads of my and my brother's weirds are tied together. I also want to say words when I see it. I know it's pronounced weirds. In my head I always say weird, but when I try to say it out loud I always say word. I see Black Maiden's will in our meeting finally approaching. Let us find them, Vader, for such is our destiny's wish. What happened to the dimensional gate? The engineers have proposed a hypothesis that it has entered some kind of recharge mode. After accumulating enough energy for a new translation, it will activate again. At least that's what all of us want to believe. Badly. What kind of debris? Those are ship carcasses. Judging by their markings, they were part of the Lord Inquisitor's fleet, and likely acted as a patrol force. The damage doesn't look like it came from any weapons we know, and the way the debris are scattered suggests that the battle was short. Someone attacked and destroyed every one of them in the blink of an eye. Someone we've never encountered before. Well, what is this place? I can't say, your lordship. These are unfamiliar stars, and the system is not listed in our astrogational data. We are in uncharted territory. We're going after the Lord Inquisitor. As you command, your lordship, may I just point out, the expedition equipment prepared in advance for your lordship and your retinue has been maintained well. It's ready for use at your order. Holy fire. Whenever the wielder uses this grenade, they suffer 5 direct damage. This grenade creates a burning area which lasts for 3 rounds, deals 10 fire damage with 30% armor penetration on impact, and inflicts burning 10 times dogmatic rank. The gifts passed to us by our esteemed allies from Footfall have likewise been inventoried and prepared for service. I think we've seen the rest of these. Holy Fire was the only new one. What are these gifts that we received? The devout preachers of the cult of St. Drusus supplied our holds with a number of relics blessed by their prayers. Venerable representatives of the Connaissance Fleet supplied us with gifts of the Omnissiah normally unobtainable by the laity. Merchants of the Fellowship of the Void gave us a share of the most precious trophies. Dubious though their origin may be, they're quite useful nonetheless. Imperial Navy officers supplied us with spare ship parts, fuel, and everything one may require on a long and perilous expedition. Your Lordship wills, I can provide you with an itemized report, the sweet-voiced servants to read it out. Excellent. I'm delighted to be of use to you, your Lordship. Beyond the Dimensional Gate. You've jumped into an uncharted sector on the edge of the Expanse. The Dimensional Gate has closed, and you're currently cut off from the rest of the Coronis Expanse. You cannot return to previous systems or chart routes to them. Protectorate management is also unavailable. You have no way to contact faction trade representatives. There is no way back, and it is pointless to look anywhere but ahead. Establish routes to the new systems and the uncharted sector on the map, and go forth to meet the inevitable. The Dimensional Gate is still inactive. Passage is currently impossible, unfortunately. When will it become active again? I've sent a request to the engine series already. I won't insult your ears with a maybe in an hour, maybe in 10 Terran years type of answer. They have no idea. That doesn't stop every cog on board, from the senior officers and down to the last technomat, from begging for a shuttle and permission to poke around in that thing. Yeah, the Mechanics tend to be obsessed with Necron tech. Let us continue our search for Calcazar. Real quick, we can talk to Ulfar and I guess Incendia Chorda. We also have a new Melta for Abelard. Unless that's what Incendia is spec'd into. I knew there were secret companions you could get. I wasn't sure who the secret companions were, but I think Incendia is one of them. Assumably limited to dogmatic. So real quick. I'll figure that out in a minute. Go talk to Ulfar first.
Let us raise our cups at Vater, in honor of deeds accomplished and in expectation of those yet to come.
We picked up the trail of your pack in this region.
See it, Vater? The All-Father wants us to know that the threads of our weirds are intertwined. It was not by chance that he drew your path and mine together. It was not by chance that he led us to one and the same place. So, come with me when the time is right to seek out my brothers. Fenris Hylda, et Vater.
Incendia's eyes blaze with fanaticism against her deathly white features. She rasps in greeting. The Emperor protects Donald, even in a place as dark and abominable as these stars. don't know why that has the yellow text to it. What do you make of the systems we have found ourselves in? A hotbed of Xenos filth. Our pale lips twist. These dark reaches are meant to test us, our faith, and our resolve. From the moment we arrived, I've been tempering my spirit through ascesis and self-denial. I'd counsel that you do the same. Incendia's appearance really does look even less healthy than usual. There are deep shadows under her sunken eyes, as if she had not eaten for a number of days. Now, what do you suppose was Calcazar's purpose for coming to these accursed systems? To serve the Emperor, I would hope. I detect the scent of a crime in the making, and pray that the Lord Inquisitor came here to punish and prevent blasphemy against him. Shall we pray together, Sister Incendia? Let us open our hearts to him, for even in this fetid darkness of Xenos impurity, he hears our voices. What wish you to pray to our protector for? For strength, that I may crush his enemies. This plea is virtuous, for our lives are insignificant, and all that matters is our service and the condemnation of his enemies. Do you think I have made a worthy rogue traitor? You bear this privilege with greater dignity than Theodora did. In this dark hour, the Emperor sent a worthy leader to guide the Expanse. I've seen Faustin burgeon under your hand, and with that, a new beacon for righteous souls was lit in the sector. Such an endeavor takes diligence and patience. These qualities I, regrettably, lack. Mine is the path of a castigator, not a builder. One day you will be gone. Your flesh will turn to dust, and even your very name will disappear from the memory of the living. But your legacy will live on. At the Schola Progenium on Dargonis, new warriors in his service will be trained to uphold the same ideals that you upheld before them. I have matters to attend to. Remain pure in the Emperor's light. That is quite a bit more damage. A single target attack only. Ignore 7 deflection. Let's see what's going on with her. Soldier, Master Tactician. Okay, so she has the potential for a lot of damage. And ballistic skill. The Run and Gun, Demolition, Revel and Slaughter, Firearm Mastery, Point Blank. Ballistic skill, Tenderize. Enemies damaged by the soldier's area attack suffer +4 damage from the next attack that hits them. Then Point Blank, all the soldiers' area attacks gain +26% armor penetration and ignore 3 deflection when used against enemies and a 3-cell radius around the soldier. Ballistic skill, Concentrated Fire. Willpower, No Heresy. Imperial World characters gain 10% critical hit chance and 10% armor against Xenos or demonic creatures. The allies gain half the bonuses of No Heresy. However, Imperial World characters Lore Xenos and Lore Warp are always 0. Combat Medicae, healing an ally with a medikit, and combat restores additional wounds equal to your Medicae skill, divided by 10. Using medikits costs -1 AP less. Demolition. Firearm Mastery, upgrade 4. Integrity, while at full wounds, the soldier has +10 ballistic skill and +2 MP. Willpower, Dash, Medicae, Perception. Stronger Together. Our allies, excluding Xenos in the current party, gain +5 to the same characteristic as was chosen for humanity's finest. She has willpower for that. Okay. A tactical disengage. Dash will not end the soldier's movement for the turn. Enemies adjacent to the starting point of the dash will consider the soldier their lowest priority target during their next turn. The Emperor protects. The devotee gains a 7% chance to ignore any enemy attack. Nimble grants +10% bonus to dodge. Medicae. A Fire Mastery upgrade 1. The Master Tactician. The tactical advantage. Press the advantage. The Master Tactician empowers their next attack to deal 4% additional damage for every stack of tactical advantage the Master Tactician has, and loses half of their stacks of tactical advantage rounded up. Inspire. The target gains 5% damage and 5% additional damage for every 10 stacks of tactical advantage the Master Tactician has, but the Master Tactician loses half of their tactical advantage stacks rounded up. Its effect stacks and lasts until the end of combat. The target uses a heroic act before the beginning of the Master Tactician's next turn. They gain plus 25 momentum. In the Hero's Footsteps, the Master Tactician immediately gains an extra turn with 2 AP and full MP the first time any of the Master Tactician's allies use a heroic act in combat. This extra turn takes place after their ally finishes their turn. Orchestrated Firestorm. The Master Tactician selects a 3x3 zone on the battlefield. All allies, including the Master Tactician that have line of sight to any enemies inside the selected zone, make an immediate single attack against a random enemy within this zone that they can target with their weapons. Yeah, I don't remember what most of the Master Tactician's talents do because Cassie is my Master Tactician, but I just leaned entirely into Navigator powers on her. AP increase, ballistic skill, joint offensive. The Master Tactician gains plus 1 stack of tactical advantage for every hit scored on enemies. Fervor. The Master Tactician suffers direct damage equal to 20% of their maximum wounds. Gains Master Tactician's resolve stacks of tactical advantage, and resets the cooldown of Linchpin, Inspire, and Strongpoint. Until the end of the Master Tactician's turn, these abilities can only target the Master Tactician themselves. Nerves of Steel. Whenever the Master Tactician or their allies gain momentum, they gain plus 1 more. Whenever the Master Tactician or their allies lose momentum, they lose 1 less. Persuasion. Willpower. Linear Purification. All enemies in the area of effect of Warhammer or Furious Recital gain plus 1 stack of the Disturbed effect. Enemies that are adjacent to the Devotee gain 2 stacks of Disturbed instead. So, Argenta has this. Also, all demons in the area of effect suffer damage equal to the momentum restored to the Devotee while using this ability. Stand Resolute. Whenever the Master Tactician heals an ally, the ally gains plus 1 resolve until the end of combat. This effect stacks up to a maximum of 7. Persuasion. Willpower. Orchestrated Firestorm Upgrade 2. Orchestrated Firestorm and Last Volley can be used multiple times per combat, once per turn. Support the advance. At the beginning of the Master Tactician's turn, if their momentum is higher than 125, the first burst fire or area attack used by the Master Tactician this turn costs 1 less action point, minimum 0. Persuasion, Agility, Shield of Faith. The Devotee gains 28% armor against attacks of demons and warp damage. The Devotee's resolve is also permanently increased by 3. Linchpin. The target ally or the Master Tactician gains plus 1 resolve for every 5 stacks of tactical advantage the Master Tactician has, but the Master Tactician loses half of their stacks of tactical advantage rounded up. This effect stacks and lasts until the end of combat. Until the beginning of the Master Tactician's next turn, the Master Tactician gains stacks of tactical advantage equal to 27% of all momentum the target gains, instead of the usual 20%. Ally Coordination. All allies have 25% dodge against attacks made by allies, deal 25% less damage to allies, and deal 50% less additional damage with critical hits against allies. Agility, Persuasion, Comfort, and Conformity. Whenever an ally grants the Master Tactician stacks of tactical advantage, the ally also heals 1 wound for every stack granted. Which I think works with Stand Resolute. Agility, Flensing Faith. Melee Flame and Melt attacks against demons and psychers deal an additional 14 damage and gain 42% armor penetration. Such attacks against Xenos deal an additional 7 damage and gain 21% armor penetration. Okay, so she is spec'd more into, well, melee too. What is Flensing Faith from? That's really good. An Orchestrated Firestorm Upgrade 4. All allies, including the Master Tactician that have a weapon capable of area attacks, use these area attacks instead of a single attack against enemies as part of an Orchestrated Firestorm and Last Volley. All allies within the zone gain a 35% armor, or just, sorry, I said a 35%, Gain 35% armor until the end of the Master Tactician's next turn. So I might just turn her into a Melta user. Only we have a lot of stuff for her. We could give her strength. She doesn't need a dual wield, she's not spec'd for it specifically. I don't think we've seen an Inferno pistol so far. We do something like that. She does have this duelist uniform. I don't know if we've seen this before. Oh, I see. If the wearer equips 2 pistols, they gain 10 ballistic skill and 10% hit chance. And base armor property, 15% dodge if the wearer's ballistic skill is more than 70. Well, well, well. So we have the opportunity to give her power armor. Not count as a heavy weapon. Have we found a heavy Melta? I think we found one at one point, right? That might be a missed opportunity. But if I can give her the power armor, at least somebody can use it. Surprised she doesn't have Dogmatic Zealot. But real quick, let's take a look at what else she has. Eager Subordinates. When allies take actions on extra turns given by the character, they deal 15% more damage. Attention. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong. I was like, there's no way. She doesn't have any exemplar levels yet. Alright, what else does she have? Cleansing. 1 round, all of Chorda's area attacks automatically critically hit, and her critical damage is increased by willpower divided by 2%. Shield of Faith. Chorda gains a 2 times willpower bonus % chance to ignore any enemy damage or ability. This chance is doubled against attacks or abilities of demons and psychic powers. Additionally, Chorda uses willpower instead of fellowship for determining her resolve and for master tactician abilities. That's pretty cool. Ministorum Priest. The Ecclesiarchy, known formally as the Adeptus Ministorum, is a vast institution that oversees the galaxy-spanning religion of the Imperium. The Ecclesiarchy's complex hierarchies of cardinals, missionaries, preachers, and zealous laity ensure that prescribed prayers and invocations are made, all the while instructing the masses to guard against heresy and deviancy. You used to be one of those fiery and charismatic individuals concerned with keeping a close watch on your congregation. Does Cleansing Faith, is that tied to Imperial World, or is that specific to her? Alright, well, let's level her up and try to get power armor. So Cataclysm, especially since he's going to specialize in area attacks. All damage dealt by the character is increased by 3% until the end of combat for every new enemy damaged by them this combat. She's going to be more of a DPS character. So, I assume this is tied to both archetypes. We wouldn't have another Master Tactician in the party, so doing my part might be worth it. I think Litany of Hatred would also be good, and thematic for her. The devotee and their allies in the area of effect of Warhammer or Furious Recital gain damage for single shots and attacks of opportunity for 1 round. And I think just lean into willpower. I mean, these are skills. Demolition, because she'll still be using area attacks. So we can grab that demolition talent. Let's go do doing my part. and willpower. The ballistic skill, there's an argument to be made for both. No, we need strength. I can't forget I need strength. So, dude, what does that one ability do? Can I wrap this up? I want to reset all of them. Let's not worry about it right now. But double check my power armor proficiency. Yeah, 45 strength. We can get that. Let's do the Melted Weapon Expert. Melted Weapon attacks gain +4 maximum damage. We do not need Rapid Fire for her, but Controlled Shot could be good for AoE attacks. The soldier gives a sign that they are about to open fire. The soldier and their allies will automatically dodge the soldier's next attack. And Demolition. What's the one for... the Demolition? Pretty sure it's a exemplar talent. Is it not? I guess not. Well, we can always do shot through. The character's attacks gain additional percentage over penetration. Their penetration attacks cannot be dodged. That's going to grab Reliance. Using Linchpin now spends only a quarter of the tactical advantage tax instead of half. Strength again. She has decent agility. That might be worth it. Swift Slaughter might be better. So Revel and Slaughter can be used after 2 kills instead of 3. Let's do a sign objective. The Master Tactician marks an enemy. If the enemy is killed by one of the Master Tactician's allies before the beginning of the Master Tactician's next turn, The ally gains momentum and +5 to all characteristics until the end of combat. More strength. I think that puts her at 45, right? Do you not save? I'm afraid to go back and have to redo all of that. Oh, it made me go all the way back here. Alright, what do we have here? Second tier archetype. Let's finish the job. This seems pretty good. Heroic Inspiration. After any character uses a heroic act for the very first time in combat, the Master Tactician use any ability of their archetype for 0 AP. Did I not just, I just hit next? Okay. Messed up something somewhere. Power Armor Proficiency. Heck yeah. Lots of wearing a Power Armor. Finally have somebody that can use Power Armor. I can hit next. What does this do? Oh, well, let me... Okay, I won't take it a second time. How about, Critical Velocity. Character's critical hit chance and critical damage increase by 7% of their dodge. Now her dodge can get reduced when we have the Power Armor on. So instead, Firebrand. An extra turn given by the character's abilities or talents grants... Nope. Not for her. Where is the Death Dealer? Every round after the character kills the first enemy, the character immediately makes an additional single attack against the closest enemy they can target with the same weapon if possible. This attack deals 30% base damage with a 10% bonus for every difficulty tier of the first killed enemy. I.e., if the enemy was of difficulty tier 1, this attack deals 40% damage in total. That seems pretty good. So primary objective. Assign objective also makes the target suffer 7% more damage from any source until the beginning of the Master Tactician's next turn. Then Power Armor Proficiency. More Demolition. I need to find that talent. We already have Cataclysm, so something's bugged out. We can't see the ones we've already grabbed. We have Shot Through. There's another one that synchronizes with Shot Through, but let's do Pinpoint Accuracy. The character ignores the enemy's deflection rounded down. More AP. Rapid Reload. Reloading costs minus 2 AP less, minimum 1. First reload in combat does not cost AP. More Demolition. You could argue Medikai for her instead, especially since we are lacking Medikai in the team. Forewarning, while the soldier has an ally adjacent to them, controlled shot costs minus 1 AP less to use. And then Medikai. I'm kind of rushing through this. He does not need to be optimized. Against all odds, the Master Tactician begins combat with additional stacks of tactical advantage equal to the number of enemies. Now we have enough strength, so I think ballistic skill going forward. That was weird. Alright, let's see, Medikai. Eager for battle. During the first turn of combat, the character has +2 additional action points. Maybe it's a Arch Militant talent that I'm thinking of, so she can't get it for the Demolition. So I'm grabbing Demolition for nothing. Fired up. When the soldier deals damage, their critical damage is increased by 1% until the end of combat. Pretty good. Dawn of Victory. Maybe. Didn't I grab this before? I'm gonna grab it now. Enough bullets for everyone. The soldier's second attack action in a turn deals % more damage. It scales with agility, but it's still just more damage. To enemies that have not suffered damage from the soldier during this turn. Let's see. We have the plasma weapon as well. And I'm going to focus more on the Melta. I'm not going to grab the plasma talent. Instead, I'll probably just do characteristic training ballistic skill. Finish the job. It can only be used on enemies with the unfinished business effect. This effect is applied to enemies which are attacked by the Master Tactician's allies, but not by the Master Tactician, and have less than 50% of their maximum wounds remaining. The Master Tactician immediately attacks the target with a single shot or strike. This attack does not count toward the attacks per turn limit, dealing half of the weapon's maximum damage and additional plus ballistic skill bonus damage. There's a talent that gives that 75% crit chance too. So ballistic skill, let's do willpower. And we had something that scaled with over-penetration, right? Yeah, with Masterful Display. When the character's single shots deal damage to targets other than their main target, they gain plus 5 ballistic skill until the end of combat. Probably not the best thing to grab. Same with the over-penetration, because she's going to use a lot of AoE attacks. Alright, Rack and Ruin. After the soldier deals damage to 3 different enemies, the soldier gains % more damage for their next attack in the current combat. And more AP. Voila! It's all caught up. It took a little bit of time. Oh, that's cool. Alright, what do we have here? Demolition and tech use. Don't really need that. Don't need that either. So I'm going to take her in my main party. Not sure I'm going to replace yet, but since she is exclusive to the dogmatic playthrough, I assume. Oh, I take some stuff off of her. That's a good idea. Sorry, Cassia. Alright, what else do we need? That doesn't help us. Darn. I got rid of all this stuff, and now I, can't fully equip her. I'm sure we'll find more stuff as we go. It's still only missing one item in boots. What do we have here? That doesn't help. That's pretty garbage on him. So, we'll make it garbage on her instead. That's really good on him, so... yeah, we'll make this work. One way or the other. Again, not sure who I'd replace. I mean, Jai, ideally, but... I'm not going to get rid of my romance partner. So we'll figure it out. That's a tough call. I really like my A-team. But I do want to show off the unique companion for this playthrough. Or the secret companion, whichever. Whatever you want to call her. Anyway, I'm going to call it here. I know that took a little bit of time, but now we're set up to explore next time. So thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.